So all these Marvel movies basically wrapped up the last phase with Avengers Endgame. So the thing is, what can they do next if they're going to reboot or whatever they're going to do? It's a big question. What are they going to do next? Because eventually they're going to run out of ideas. But I think that there's an amazing idea that they can do, which is do the Secret Wars limited series. So back in the 80s, there was a comic series from Marvel called Secret Wars. And the great thing about the concept of Secret Wars was it took all the greatest villains versus the greatest superheroes. So there isn't just one villain, it's all the greatest villains versus the greatest superheroes who were transported to another planet. They were transported by this being called the Beyonder, who want to understand good versus evil. And in that series, you have Spiderman, you have Captain America, you have the Hulk, you have the Thing, you have basically the Fantastic Four, you have a whole bunch, you have Wolverine, you've got all these incredible characters, and you've got Doctor Doom and Dr. Octopus, you've got all these great villains, and they're all on one planet versus each other. Also, that was where Spider-Man's black costume, the symbiote, first came. That was the origin of that black costume, which could be so cool, which eventually became Venom. That series would make such a great series of movies. I think it's insane not to do that. So again, if there's anybody out there in Hollywood listening, just give me a call. But regardless, I know that would be an amazing series of movies. And if Marvel does what they do best, which is try to stay faithful to the essence of the comic books, which is the reason why those comic book movies did so well, they actually did try to stay true, for the most part, to the essence of those characters. That's why the Marvel movies finally did justice to these superheroes that for so many years were not given justice. Don't want to mention things like the Captain America TV show. The closest was probably the Incredible Hulk TV show. Because of this Beyonder, this being that brings these top superheroes and top villains from Marvel to this planet, there's all these powerful stories that allow the individual characters in their own comic books, and in this case, they could do this for their own movies, to have really original and new exciting ideas as a repercussion of this whole Secret Wars that's going on. So for example, Spider-Man gets that symbiote costume, which resulted in the whole Venom series and Venom character. And another example would be Daredevil. So Daredevil is this blind superhero, and as a result of the Secret Wars, the Beyonder tried to reward Matt Murdock, who is Daredevil, with his sight again. And I remember reading this story. It was incredible way back then. So Daredevil is given back his sight, and the Beyonder, who's this being who brought these heroes and villains together, thinks he's doing something great for Matt Murdock. And in the beginning, Matt Murdock is so happy he can see for the first time since he was a kid. And he could see his girlfriend, and he can see art, and he can see the outside, the buildings and the sky and all this. And then all of a sudden, he realizes something, which is that because he has this gift again, and he's supposed to be the man without fear, he does fear one thing now. He fears losing his sight. And he goes back to the Beyonder and says, "Take this gift back, take it back," because without it, he's back to being Daredevil, and he fears nothing. And it was such a powerful story, and the Beyonder at first doesn't understand. He goes, "Take it back, take it back." So it was so dramatic that Daredevil is such a hero, so committed to being the man without fear and helping people, that he gives back this gift of his own sight. It was just nuts how powerful it was. Just an example of another character being enriched by this overall concept of the Secret Wars. In the same way, there was like the Marvel movies, they have like the team up with the Avengers, but then each individual character has these incredible movies as well. So we can have similar ideas as a repercussion of the Secret Wars. So the Secret Wars will be the story that brings all these superheroes together, and then the offshoot of that will be incredible byproducts that make the heroes' individual movies also amazing too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Michael Marks, and until next time, be cool.